Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. In this video I want to talk about approval traps, guys. Approval traps and what that looks like, and then you can figure out if you've been guilty of this, if you're currently doing this, and how we can stop doing this. Okay, now what would an approval trap be? An approval trap would be an instance where you are dealing with a manipulative person that brings you up only to bring you down. And this is, of course, if we want to compare it to narcissistic abuse, this is when the person is love bombing you and idealizing you and putting you on this pedestal, and you're great and you're wonderful, you're fabulous, you're the best, right? You have all these wonderful qualities, and then the mask drops and we're discarding now. Not discarding, we're devaluing the person. So now there's criticism. Now you can't do things right. The same things that they appreciated about you, now they don't. They're taking it for granted. They're putting you down, calling you out your name, all types of disrespectful things. So then what would happen? Well, this creates a psychological dilemma in most people's minds, where they're trying to make sense of this person that they were pretty much sold on, because they try to time these devalues to points and times when they feel like they got you, where they feel like you've bought in. So whatever they've shown you in the love bomb stage, whatever they wanted you to perceive of them, you feel like you've met your wife, you feel like you've met your husband, you feel like you've met your best friend, or something that's going to be really good and fruitful in your life, something that's going to lift you up, something that appreciates you. And now, bam, after you've bonded with them emotionally and psychologically, and then a lot of times physically in a romantic setting where you're creating these soul ties, right? Which is deepening things that much further. Now they're starting to renege on this stuff. The mask drops. Suddenly they don't appreciate you. Suddenly you aren't so great. Suddenly you aren't doing things the right way. So this puts someone in a psychological dilemma now. And they're going to have to make some decisions. Either they are going to go ahead and recognize the person for who they are now. Okay? Because when a person shows you who they are, you got to believe it when that mask drops, right? Or they're going to try to reconcile it. They're going to try to reconcile it, in which they're trying to mend it because they want to believe that love bomb is the truth, and they're trying to get to the promised land. Because if they accept this devalue as the person, now they have to let go of the fantasy that they were sold, the fantasy that sounded and looked so good, the fantasy that they want so bad. Now this sets you up to be on an approval trap. That sets you up in an approval trap. And a manipulative person will know this. Now you're going to go back to this person because you want their approval. You want to reconcile that situation. Because a lot of things that's going on is pretty intricate and very deep. The things that are going on when someone is devaluing you. When they're devaluing you, not only are they trying to break your spirit and your self-esteem down, they're trying to rewrite your worth in your own mind. Because if they're devaluing you and they're replacing all those positive attributes and words, now they're just saying all this negative thing. This is how they want you to start viewing yourself. They're trying to break you down. And this is why emotional abuse is very harmful. A lot of people think, okay, they didn't break a bone, I'm not bleeding, it's not so bad. No, emotional abuse is just as bad and even worse. Because if you heard of mind control, if someone gets your mind, they got your body as well. You can abuse somebody physically and not have their mind. You beat them up. They know what you did. They're not going to be with you anymore. Whatever is going to happen legally, whatever. But they don't have your mind necessarily. But if they get you emotionally abused, they can beat you up and still have you stay there and continue to take that physical abuse over and over and over. And they'll have you for forever at that point until you get freed, until your mind and your eyes get opened. But I don't want you guys to fall into the traps in your life to be triggered by someone devaluing you, letting that trigger, your sense of self-worth, your sense of self, and perhaps abandonment and attachment issues. Don't let them devaluing you trigger that to the point where you want to reconcile it and fix it. No, we have to see that as the disrespect that it is. And then, hey, you can hit the door. Because I'm a king. I'm a queen. I don't deserve to be talked to in that manner. I don't allow people to talk to me in that way. You can't be on my team and treat me that way. So, it's just very deep. It's just very deep. Because people might say, okay, this person called me a B. This person called me out my name and yada, yada, yada. Like, it's more than just that. It's more than just sheer disrespect. This person is trying to break your spirit. They're trying to rewrite how you feel about yourself. They want you to start believing what they're calling you. Because in psychology, you keep telling somebody something over and over. You're worthless. You're nothing. You're worthless. You're nothing. Imagine someone saying that to a child every day of their life. What do you think is going to begin to happen? That child is going to question their worthiness, and they're going to believe that they're worthless eventually. So the same thing, even when we become adults and we're in these situations where someone is speaking these word curses on us and they're putting us down and calling us this and that over and over, yes, your self-worth will begin to go down and you will begin to start questioning yourself, and inevitably, the longer you stay in that, you will begin to believe it. And then if you believe it, what will happen? You're going to accept it. You're going to think you deserve it. You're not going to think you deserve more. So we have to be careful about these approval traps. Is these people that are manipulative? OMG. I just don't want you guys to be in that cycle. So if you recognize this in your own life, that's going to be the first step, to recognize, hey, you know what? I was doing this with the narcissist. I kept trying to make it right. I kept trying to reverse it. I kept trying to get them to go back to the love bomb stage. I kept trying to get them to accept me, to approve of me in the positive light that they did initially. Well, what you have to realize is what they were doing initially wasn't even genuine either. They never accepted or approved of you, not in a sincere fashion. They did it manipulatively to get you to believe that they cared about you so that you could drop your guard. The narcissist is someone that is void character. The character that they have, the morality is voided. So they're not going to ever respect you. They don't even respect themselves. So people that don't respect themselves aren't going to respect others. And then sometimes it goes even deeper when we're trying to reconcile in our adult relationships things from our childhood, relationships with our own mother, father. We're getting partners that treat us that way. And we're trying to fix what happened in our childhood with them. And all we're doing is adding another toxic person into the picture. And it certainly will not resolve anything. It's going to add. You're just going to be further triggered from the situation, because you can't fix it with a narcissist. These things, you can't fix your childhood traumas with a narcissist. You're going to add to it. We have to fix that within ourselves and with proper counsel. Proper counsel. And this is why therapy is personalized therapy is excellent. And I do offer the coaching, guys. Sometimes someone looking from the outside, and especially someone who's been there and done that, they can see a lot more clearly than you can. Because what happens is you don't do the work of, not being in these approval traps and many other toxic behaviors. You don't give yourself the time to heal and learn. And you end up back in the same situation again because you didn't do the appropriate work. And the appropriate work, especially when it's been engraved, especially when you have been hit hard with narcissistic abuse, is going to include that personalized work. Okay, and that's going to go deeper than just YouTube videos. You really need that self-reflection. Okay, guys, you have to invest in yourselves. And sometimes we can't see it. That's like being our own doctor. No, I have to go to a specialist. The specialist that studied how to treat this injury so that they can help me heal properly. Okay? You got to get that counsel. Wise counsel. They're going to see things that you won't be able to see right now. And once you do that work, your eyes and your mind, it won't be clouded. You're going to see clearer again. And you will be able to go about things completely different. And you will not be falling into the same traps. But we don't need the approval of our abuser. That is a sign. A sign that something inside of you needs to be healed. You need to get some counseling to determine what's going on and what's triggering you to do this. Because a manipulative person will psych your mind out and get you to a place where they hopefully can do this with you, where you will be seeking the approval of your abuser. You can have a perfectly good person come into your life, but you will be so caught up in this toxic person and trying to get their approval because they have connected with you emotionally and a lot of times created these soul ties with you, and they are playing with your mind. And of course, this is going to block you from anything good because your mind isn't clear and clean to be able to receive anything good. You're going to just push that away. All right, guys, I hope this message is helping someone, because we certainly have fallen into these approval traps. Well, we want the approval of the person that abused us. And we got to stop that toxic behavior. All right, guys. You can check the description for, my books that help people heal from toxic relationships. Help them, find themselves and start beginning to do that work. You can check the description for my email, CoachLakia@gmail.com. If you would like to get personalized coaching, finally stop these cycles and get a clear image of what you're doing that is hurting yourself. Yeah, we can break down the narcissist as well. And even if it's beyond narcissistic abuse, just finding yourself, feeling whole again, getting back to your happiness. I do group therapy as well, with family, with partners, to help you bring balance, to help be that mediator, to help find solutions. All right, guys. So until next time, take care.